And he said you're dropping F-bombs and what have you. And Bob Melvin's like, no, tell him to sit down. He's like, no, I'm bitching. You just basically, and then you kick the water bottle out of the way. Miller had his water bottle down on the mound. You just kicked that thing out of the way and started warming
Yeah,
up.
I kicked it to the curb and told him to go sit down. I got it. Started warming up, went out there and closed it out, and that was one of the best days in Oakland history for me.
How we going, mates? It's Ryan Rowland-Smith. Welcome to the Top Step presented by Warrior Injury Law. If you're injured, contact attorney Rob Iddens at 253-WARRIOR. Battle tested. All right, great show today. Cal Raleigh, he's at the top of the leaderboards in home runs and some big offensive categories. You know what that means. The debate comes, should he or should he not participate in this year's Home Run Derby? We dive into that. Plus, the Mariners are hosting their very first Australian Kangaroo Court, celebrating my country, Australia. So who better than to have join me for the San Juan Seltzer interview? One of my best mates. He goes viral, I feel like, on social media every other month for his antics on the field. That's MLB All-Star and fellow Australian, one of my best mates, Grant Balfour. We have a lot of laughs. I even test him on his Australian baseball knowledge, and you can play along. By the way, you can play along to all the How to Speak Australian segments, or check out all the past episodes at the Top Step TV over at YouTube. Go subscribe, go support the show, or go follow us at X or Instagram at the Top Step TV. All right, let's get into it. Eyes on the M's this week is brought to you by King LASIK. Hey, mates, if you're ready for freedom from hassling with glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. It was the best decision I ever made for my eyes and my lifestyle. The procedure was easy, and it was over in under 15 minutes. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com. Okay, so Cal Raleigh, Home Run Derby. Should he pass like some of these players do, or should he participate? Remember what he said? He said he would love to participate. He would do it in a heartbeat. But there's the debate. It seems to resurface every single year around the All-Star break. Does participating in the Home Run Derby mess up your swing? Does it wear you out? This year, our very own Cal Raleigh has been invited to take part in the Derby, and I couldn't be more excited if he takes up MLB and goes ahead and does it. But of course, look, the familiar concerns are back. I get it. People say it ruins your swing, wears you down. Guys come out of it, they're slumping in the second half. You know what? When I hear that argument, like I do with everything in all my breakdowns, you can check them all out. I have to dive into some of the numbers. So I decided to dig in and see if there's actually anything behind some of these claims. So I look back at the 2024 Home Run Derby participants. You're talking Adolis Garcia, Alec Bohm, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, Jose Ramirez, Marcell Ozuna, Pete Alonso, and Teoscar Hernandez. Now, they all profile as players very, very differently. More on that in just a minute. But I ran through some of the key metrics that I feel like coming out of this, that if you are going to get worn down or you get pull happy or your swing gets messed up, these are the ones I wanted to focus on. Hard hit rate, plate appearance per home run. In other words, how many plate appearances does it take for them to come and whack a home run? Plate appearance per RBI is a big one. Average exit velocity, do they get worn down? Strikeout rate, the team start figuring them out? Or does that swing get messed up and all of a sudden they start messing up? So let's look into some of the numbers, shall we? All right, so first of all, plate appearance per home run. So I looked at this. Adolis Garcia and Alec Bohm, when they're looking at plate appearances, how many times, how often they hit home runs, they had a decline. Yet Bobby Witt Jr., he actually sped up a little bit. He was hitting more home runs per plate appearance, which was great. Gunnar Henderson, he had a big decline. He actually had a decline across a lot of different categories. Jose Ramirez, he was about the same. Marcell Ozuna, he had a big decline as well. Pete Alonso, you know, he's a weapon in the Home Run Derby. He actually got better. Now, you look at some of the at-bats per home run. This is where they all kind of got better. You know why? Because they're getting walked more. They're under that microscope because they're hitting home runs in that first half. So if Cal Raleigh, his plate discipline, what you're going to see, teams starting to figure out they need to pitch around him. They all got better in that category. And so they should. Because remember, per at-bat, that tells you that around the walks, they're actually hitting balls out of the ballpark. Now, the hard hit percentage, this was interesting. I noticed with this, it depends on the player, right? So there was a bit of decline. The shortstops, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., that actually declined a little bit. Yet Jose Ramirez, his hard hit got a little bit better. The strikeout rate, they all started to struggle a little bit more on the strikeout rate. Again, they're going to get pitched differently. They've got a bigger book against them. So when I'm looking at some of these numbers, it really depends on the way they profile. I noticed that the power hitters had a tougher time and had more of a decline, where some of the more dynamic players had a less of a decline. Now, if you look at the average number overall, there was a decline across the board. But the conclusion you have to make, and I said this before I even dived into these numbers, and I'll say it now. The impact of the home run derby varies wildly from player to player. Some guys saw dips in a couple of categories. Some, they didn't miss a beat. And a few actually got a little bit better. Pete Alonso, he's done this year after year. Teoscar Hernandez, he actually got better as well. There's no clear pattern. Why? Because every player is built differently. Now, when it comes to Cal Raleigh, that matters. He's a catcher. He's grinding every single day. We know that when he has a day off, he's DHing, right? So, and by the way, he's also trying to manage a pitching staff, wearing the gear in the heat when it starts to warm up in the middle of August, taking foul balls off every part of the body, you name it. Naturally, you're going to see some offensive drop-off in the second half. You just are. Harold Reynolds talked about that on the episode last week. Go listen to it or go watch it. Look, derby or not, that's just the toll of the position, right? Being a catcher. So home run derby or not, as for the idea of the derby, it messes up your swing. We shall see. I think everyone has to go through it to really figure that out. And again, it depends on the individual. So some guys might try and sell. Some guys might try and sell out on the pull side, and that carries into the second half. Others, especially the best of the best, they can flip the switch and go right back to their approach the next day, especially some of those hitters I rattled off. When the plate discipline matters, then you see the at-bat, the home run per at-bat actually go up. For me, look, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Cal Raleigh, selfishly, I want to see the big dumper on center stage putting balls into orbit and making sure fans outside of Seattle get to learn all about one of the toughest and most impactful players in the game today, beyond the sexy home run numbers. Kind of like Julio did. Remember that a few years ago in LA? I know you remember that, and the rest of the country did. So let the guy mash. Let the guy go have fun. Let the guy... Look, it's a showcase. It's a celebration. Cal Raleigh deserves to be front and center, representing our team and representing what it means to be that type of player with that character and that profile. All right, that was Eyes on the Hems, brought to you by King Lasik. Coming up, one of my best mates. Love this guy. Matter of fact, he used to help me host this show. Grant Balfour joins me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Sean, who was rear-ended in a car accident.
They're just easy to work with. They're fast. I like the fact that he got military service. I can see a lot of Marine in Rob. He's very in charge, really gets things done. But I didn't have to do anything. He offered me a settlement, and I remember I had a number in my head was nearly double that. I would refer absolutely anybody to Rob.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Olympic Hot Tubs Honoring Heroes event raised $25,800 for Alliance for Education.
I'm pleased to present them with this check.
This means so much to us, knowing that we have allies in the community like Don, who care so much about creating a public education system that's quality to make the city of Seattle the quality city that we all want to live in.
I'm so honored to partner with Olympic Hot Tub, who does so much for our community. Do what my wife and I did and take your family's wellness to the next level with a soak, sauna, plunge, or swim from Olympic Hot Tub.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
All right, welcome back to the Top Step and welcome to the San Juan Seltzer interview. I've got a very, very special guest, someone who is one of my best friends, one of the best players to ever do it from Australia. It's Grant Balfour. Grant, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, mate. Good to see you. Always good to see you. And love the shirt, mate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, crikey. This is all for you, mate. Hey, look, it's been a while. It has been a while since you have been on. I mean, we were co-hosting for a little bit. And then this kind of turned into a Mariners show, so I had to kick you to the curb, mate, because you don't know your Mariners baseball.
No, mate, I'm asleep by then.
Yeah, that's right.
As you'd say in Australia, 10 toes under the doona.
That's right. That's right. 10 toes under the doona. Hey, listen, so tonight at T-Mobile Park, they're doing this kangaroo court. Basically, there's a section where it's called the kangaroo court. You get a T-shirt, and it's basically celebrating some Aussie heritage. So I thought of you, and I'm like, who better to have than you? So I'm excited about it. But it's one of these things. I had Liam Hendricks on a couple of weeks ago. We're in Boston, and we're sitting there at Fenway Park. And I was thinking to myself, like, what are the chances of this? And I asked him, look, he's had a massive career. You had a massive career. You're an MLB All-Star, but I'm still sitting there in Fenway Park going, how does this happen, man? Coming from Australia and having a chance to play Major League Baseball in the States. Do you ever, like, I know it's been a while and you've moved on, but now you're doing TV with the Tampa Bay Rays. But when you go to the ballpark now, doing some of the pre and post games you're doing with the Tampa Bay Rays, do you ever sit there and think, man, how did this happen coming from Australia?
Yeah, now, showing up to the ballpark, obviously getting done playing, and you're a fan, so you got a different perspective of what really, goes on at the ballpark outside of the clubhouse and being on the field. And then now, obviously working, doing some broadcasting there, you do kind of pinch yourself sometimes. You think, man, I actually used to run around on these fields and do this, what these blokes are doing. And you never took it for granted when you're out there each and every day in the big leagues, because we all went through some hard times when we were playing, went through some injuries. We got sent down to the minor leagues or had to work your way back, for instance, because of injuries. So each and every day up there was just awesome. And but yeah, going back and thinking about it, just a 19-year-old bloke coming over, trying to have a go. Brought one suitcase with me, barely unpacked my clothes, and to think that we actually made it. But I think the big part was we had a lot of belief in ourselves, and we believed we could do it, and we just wouldn't give up until someone said you can't.
The same thing goes if you're an American kid or a teenager or someone playing pro ball. Like, I went to spring training this year, and I was having a quick chat with some of the guys who are, I was in the Arizona Complex League last year, like rookie ball, or I'm trying to get to AA, and I'm sitting there going, man, like, you think back, Australian American, it doesn't make any difference. But for you, what point when you're in the minor leagues did you actually have that little moment saying, man, if I just do this and this, I could be playing in the big leagues? Did you have a point in the minor leagues where that kind of happened, where it dawned on you that you're that close?
Yeah, so it felt like so far away. First year rookie ball, 1997, down in Gulf Coast League. You're drinking one cup of Gatorade and having a cold sandwich for lunch, and you're just sweating it out.
Right.
You're so far from the big league, it's not even funny when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
But then fast forward 4 years later, I'm in the Florida State League. I went up one level every year. I'm in the Florida State League, and they decide, we're not going to have you start anymore. We're going to put you in the pen as a closer. I was like, okay, well, that's a change. I wasn't doing too bad as a starter, but they put me in there. And then next thing you know, the season ended. I had to be protected. So they protected me on the 40-man roster. And at that given time, I knew that there was something there. I've been put on the 40-man, and there's an opportunity that they see something in me, and I was believing in myself. So the next year I went to AA. I was only there 2.5 months, and I got called up to the big leagues. So it happened really quick from there. It seemed like a while early on, but it happened really quick once that happened.
Welcome back to The Top Step. This segment is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub, a daily soak in a saltwater hot spring spa, a swim in an endless pool, swim spa, or a therapeutic session in a Tylo sauna. Ways Olympic Hot Tub can help you feel, live, and be better. Start today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. By the way, they've got a little cold plunge coming up that I'm going to participate in. More details later. All right, let's get back to Grant Balfour. Just getting back to the Australian side of this. you watch Liam Hendricks, and he's really vocal on the mound. And I haven't brought this up directly to him, but I feel like he got that from you. And a lot of people tend to think that Australians are crazy when they're pitching, right? But you are known, especially in Oakland, coming in for all those games. And there's a thing that pops up, a viral moment we're going to get into in a minute. But you, Balfour age, right? When did that start for you? Where did all that come from? I remember you telling me a story where you had a pitching coach in another organization kind of telling you, hey, listen, you got to calm down a little bit. But you just kind of let it eat, man, at one point in your career. When did all that start? And talk to me about that.
So I felt like, I got sent down one year there after having a decent spring. And probably rightly so. I can't really say, but I went down in 2008 there at the start of the year, and I wasn't happy about it. I just told myself, especially too, that it even came just before that, where I had I felt like I heard some rumors that I could have been done. I was injured. I could be done, and I never wanted to hear that. So I got fired up. I kind of just took it to heart. And every time I took that mound, I just took out this fiery part of me with a chip on my shoulder.
Right.
That I don't care who says what, I'm going out here and I'm getting it done, and this is the way I'm going to do it. So I kind of started back in 07, 08 sort of era.
And I remember you were so instrumental, just saying, like, I can't use the words on this show because it's a TV show, but basically, dude, it changed my career with that kind of mentality. One of those moments is a viral moment I talked about a little bit earlier. It pops up on social media all the time. You're pitching for the Oakland A's back in the day, now the Athletics of Sacramento. But you're pitching for the A's, and this is, man, when you guys were on a nice little run there, you're pitching against the Rangers. It was the last game. Now, we've actually spoken to someone who's given us more of an inside story on this. But you're coming into a game. Give us the backstory. What was going on? Because if you go to the YouTube page at the Top Step TV, I'm going to put it up there, and you're going to see the clip I'm talking about. But talk us through the backstory on what was going on in that bullpen before you went out into the game.
Yeah. So prior to that season, it goes back a week. We're 6 games back, 5 games back, 6 games to play. So there's a lot leading up to that. And I'd pitched every day. So had, Doolittle and Cook. We'd all pitched. Everyone's putting in, the whole team. It's a team effort here. But we've gone, 4 days straight pitching leading up to this. And we've got ourselves in a position where if we win on the last day, it'll be the only day we finished in first and we'd win the division and go to the playoffs. And it comes down to the 9th inning. And it's looking like I'm going to go in the game, and we tack on a few runs late in the 9th inning. So
yeah, you're up by like 5, I think. I want to say 5 or 6. So in other words, you don't have to pitch because there's not a save opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
The other 2 boys went in because it was like a 2 or 3 run game. We tacked on another 3. We're up by 5 or whatever it was, right?
Right.
So the 9th inning's looking a little safer at that point. So I know, Bob Melvin gets up. And I feel bad now. What's his name?
Was it Miller?
Miller. Got up Miller. And anyway, so he gets him up. And I'm like, you're kidding, aren't you? I said, I'm not. I said, I'm finishing what I started here. I went 4 days, I'll go 5. The other boys went 5. I'm going 5. We're in this together. And anyways, so Miller starts throwing. He's warming up. And I told the bullpen coach, I said, call down there and tell Bob I got this. I'm fired up. You know what I mean? No. Bob calls back, goes, righto, give him the ball. So I got down there and...
Yeah, but at first, hang on. Jesse Chavez told this story because he was sitting on that bullpen bench.
Yeah.
And he said you were dropping F-bombs and what have you. And Bob Melvin's like, no, tell him to sit down. He's like, no, I'm pitching. You just basically, and then you kick the water bottle out of the way. Miller had his water bottle down on the mound. You just kicked that thing out of the way and started warming up.
I kicked it to the curb and told him to go sit down. I got it. Started warming up, went out there and closed it out, and that was one of the best days in Oakland history for me.
Oh yeah, that was epic, man. And again,
that crowd was roaring. That crowd was on fire.
It was the best. I watched it live. I remember, and because you know what, they didn't cut to break when you were coming out to say, "Oh yeah, we'll be right back with a new pitch." No, they kept it on. and
Yeah.
they showed, Metallica 1 was your walkout song, and they were showing
This is it right here, mate.
I love it.
This is the last
dive bar.
the last dive bar, yeah, the Metallica.
I love it.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Olympic Hot Tubs Honoring Heroes event raised $25,800 for Alliance for Education.
I'm pleased to present them with this check.
This means so much to us knowing that we have allies in the community like Don who care so much about creating a public education system that's quality to make the city of Seattle the quality city that we all want to live in.
I'm so honored to partner with Olympic Hot Tub, who does so much for our community. Do what my wife and I did and take your family's wellness to the next level with a soak, sauna, plunge, or swim from Olympic Hot Tub.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Alex. At just 16, she suffered trauma after a broadside collision with a delivery truck.
When I came in, they were so nice. They were just like, don't worry about anything. We'll take care of that. It's gonna be okay. Live your high school life. We got your back. And they did. I would recommend Rob because they have a passion for caring for people.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Time for the How to Speak Australian, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. It's going to be a quiz on Australian baseball players. So, are you ready for this?
I am, mate. I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to give you, I'll give you multiple choice, make it a little bit easier. Let's start with this one. Which Australian pitcher had the most pickoffs in the big leagues? All right, you've got Damian Moss, Travis Blackley, Graham Lloyd, or me, bunch of lefties. Obviously, they get those pickoffs. Who had the most pickoffs? They had 12 in the big leagues. Damian Moss, Travis Blackley, myself, or Graham Lloyd?
Now, just with the longevity of it all, there's Graham Lloyd, but I'm going to go out and go with Travis Blackley because he had a pretty damn
Sick
good move.
He did. Well, you know what? He had a sick move, but Damian Moss has him beat. Damian Moss had 12. How about that?
Mossy.
Yeah, Atlanta Braves.
Wherever you are, Mossy.
Mossy.
Congrats, mate.
Okay, question number 2. Who had the best strikeout rate, like strikeout percentage? All right, so like, and by the way, there is some qualifiers here. So like, I'm going to use a qualifier of like 40 innings in the big leagues. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
So who had the best strikeout rate? Was it yourself, Liam Hendricks, Josh Spence, or Rich Thompson?
Ooh, I know it wasn't me because I think I'd say Liam's above that. But then you're going back, you're talking 40 innings, are you?
Yeah, that's the qualifier. Yeah, you just need the 40. Just need the 40 innings.
Yeah, no, that makes it tough because I think that Spence punched a few blokes out. I'll go with Spence.
Oh, okay. Well, he's actually number 3. You're actually number 2. But Liam Hendricks has 26.7 strikeout percentage of the hitters he faced. You were right behind him, dude. 25.5%. So there you go. But Josh, shout out to Josh. He had 24%. How about that?
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, good on you. Okay, question number 3. Who has given up the most home runs?
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to give you multiple choice here, if I can find it. Where is it? All right.
Probably a good thing if it was me because I maybe got a most amount of innings.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. All right. I'm not doing home run rate. I'm going to do who gave up the most home runs because it's funnier. Was it Liam Hendricks, Graham Lloyd, myself, or you?
Gave up the most home runs.
Yeah. Don't you dare say me. I'm just kidding.
No, I'll say Graham Lloyd and hope it's not me.
Close. It was Hendricks, 79.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he does have a lot of innings. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Where are we at? Question number. Where are we at? One.
I
two.
think I'm 0 for 3 or whatever you've given me.
Okay.
I'm a struggle bus right now.
It's tough, mate. It's tough. I'm telling you, this is tough. All right. Who had the best batting average against? Like the lowest batting average against? Was it yourself? Was it me? Was it Liam Hendricks? Or was it Josh Spence? Best batting.
I'll go with myself. Why not? It's probably Liam.
Dude, listen to this. Josh Spence. Opponents were hitting 189. Everyone else was pretty close. Or you and Liam were pretty close. I was up there. Last question. Okay. Who has thrown the most innings in the postseason? Is it Liam Hendricks, yourself, Graham Lloyd? Remember those World Series rings with the Yankees?
Yeah.
Or Peter Moylan? Who has the most innings from an Aussie in playing postseason?
I had a couple. Oh, let's go with Graham. Let's go with Graham Lloyd because he went deep into the postseason a lot.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you're playing along at home, hopefully you've done better than Grant. Dude, it's yourself, mate. I think you've done the most games too. I lost the screen. But no, it's Grant Balfour. All those years, mate. I'm telling you, the pitching the World Series. But look, Liam had a couple games with the Blue Jays as well that you don't think about. But yeah, Lloydie had those games with the Yankees. But no, dude, it's you. But everyone's kind of close. But yeah, no, you stick way out there, mate, with the most amount of innings. So very cool. I think it's the most amount of games too. I can't clarify that. I don't want anyone to come hunt me down if I mess up the Aussie Crew. That was How to Speak Australian, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. Grant, this has been a blast, mate. I appreciate catching up. Yeah. And, dude, you're going to come back and start co-hosting with me.
Yeah, Kangaroo and Kiwi, mate. It's a great pub. I had a chance to come up there and wouldn't mind grabbing a 4 and 20 up there sometime in the future.
Hey, we've had some good times at the K&K, let me tell you. You're going to get back up to Seattle. We're going to get back down to Australia and do some camps with Next Gen Baseball and the MLBPA as well.
Love that again. That was great.
This has been awesome, mate. I appreciate the time and all the best, and looking forward to watching you on the big screen and on TV with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Thanks, mate. Good on you. Thanks for having me on.